Everybody, I'm Dean, I'm the dad.
I'm Laura, I'm the mom.
And I'm Crystal, and I'm the daughter.
And together we are
Family Plot.
Well, it's so nice to be back. We've missed a couple weeks because of the move. Also, I should say, before we get any further, we have a very special guest with us today. Actually, in the studio with us, the one and only author Dan B. Fierce.
Or as we refer to him, Uncle Danny.
Hello, listeners. Hope you enjoy your horror.
Okay, the show is PG-12.
Horror. Horror.
I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
You're the one making it that way. Even I heard it horror.
I'm just saying.
So, as I said, our move has kept us off the air the past couple of weeks. We had a lot to do and not a lot of time to get it done in, and we had to cut corners where we could, and one of the places we could get time was shutting down the podcast. Now, we still have some work to do. We're living out of boxes, and many of the boxes are mislabeled. The baby's clothes contains kitchenware. The kitchenware box contains my clothes, and my clothes box contains bathroom stuff.
Well, that's really nothing new where you're concerned.
So we're still looking, but we have time now. There's time for research. There's time to do the podcast.
There's time to do stuff.
So we're back, and it feels good to be back.
It definitely does. I miss you guys.
I miss them too. So, see, what else do I want to cover? Yes. Make sure if you enjoy our show, you share it with your friends and family. You know, it helps us grow the family plot. And anybody who listens and enjoys what we do, why, welcome to the family. You're one of us. And if you don't like what we do, well,
bye.
Don't tell anybody. That's all. That's all I ask. Don't tell anybody you don't like it.
You didn't tell me what you thought of your birthday present, by the way. We should know that we are recording also on a very special day because while by the time that the show drops, it will be the day after, today happens to be the Dad of Family Plot's birthday.
Yes, I turned 53, sadly, or as I like to think of it, the...
No, switch those numbers around.
20-something anniversary of my 29th birthday. There we go.
Old!
Sorry. Turn the numbers around.
I'm sorry. How old are you again? 52, 51, somewhere in there?
51.
Okay, yeah.
No,
not that much younger. That much younger.
Turn the numbers around. Turn the numbers around. No, right now. 35.
Okay.
No. Okay, you're 35 now.
See.
Stay. You're staying with me until the day I die.
That doesn't work because you have a brother who's 32.
I don't care. He is now 2.
Also, very important, and we'll cover this again at the end, but just remember our Patreon page. If you like what we do, you can make donations, all kinds of donations to us. Yep. It was originally Team Podcast and Team Bunny, but Krista has her bunny.
I have my bunny.
Noelle is awesome.
Noelle.
But you know
she does eat a lot.
She does eat a lot. So
she eats a lot.
You know, if you want to help support the bunny, that's great. If you want to just throw some bucks at the podcast, that's great too.
Just
also have Buy Me a Coffee. So that's pretty much the basics.
That's pretty much it for that.
Does anybody remember what we're covering?
I know.
She knows. She knows.
The Mothman and the butterfly people?
Ding, ding, ding on the nosy. So proud of you, Krista.
I did this at school, actually. I did this before school.
Did you just say nosy?
Yeah.
Right on the nosy.
Right on the nosy. It's from a movie. I can't remember which one.
Young Frankenstein.
Yep. That's it. It's from Young Frankenstein. Thank you, Dan.
Okay. Yeah.
What can I say?
You have a problem with it.
Yeah, I do, but it's okay.
If you have problems with it, I'm not giving you
Okay.
advice.
All right. Hang on. See, the scene goes like this. Gene Wilder, playing Dr. Frederick Frankenstein, is trying to deal with his monster that is busily choking him. And so, since he cannot speak because he's being choked, he is frantically playing charades with Marty Feldman and his assistant, trying to get them to understand what he needs. And so he manages to break out, "Give me a sedative," which Marty Feldman gets as "give me a sedative," and which is wrong. But so when they finally guess it, Gene Wilder taps his nose. Marty Feldman says, "On the nosy." And it's crept its way into my verbal lexicon. I use it frequently. There.
Yes, okay, so, I would not like to make this longer than 2 hours. Can we get on to this, please?
Yes, we can. First, though, got to say some things.
Okay,
Our
that's
episode is on the Mothman and the butterfly people, but I want to point out that while we will cover some of the events that happened in Point Pleasant, we are not going to focus on the whole thing, because if we go to the entire thing that happened in Point Pleasant, it's not just the Mothman. It's the Mothman. It's Men in Black.
It's a whole bunch of different things.
It's prophetic dreams. And that really deserves its own episode. And it will get it at some point. At this point, I really just want to tackle the Mothman kind of like a cryptid, because Point Pleasant is not the only place it's ever been seen.
Right.
Is he attracted to light?
You know what? You're not the first person to ask that question. We don't
Hopefully I'm the
know.
last.
We
It was
don't
really
know.
bad pun.
We don't know.
Okay,
We do
was
not-
he chasing only cars?
No, he's not chasing only cars. It's just many of the sightings were in cars.
He said Mothman, not Labrador Retriever man.
Okay, but here's my thing. Cars had front lights on them so you can see in the dark. And most of the tracks, from what I know, are in the dark.
Yes. It was almost exclusively seen only at night.
Okay, so yeah, I would think that it was attracted to lights because it sees the lights on the cars.
On the whole chasing cars.
I'm sorry. I'm being crazy.
You're not being
You're
crazy.
perfect.
You're being very smart, and I appreciate it, but you're jumping the gun a tiny bit. It followed the cars, so it's going after red lights as opposed to the white lights on the front.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything about that. I'm just saying it's a light. They're going to be attracted to it, probably.
I'm sure. So, before we get too deep into anything, I say that we do Krista's Weird Facts.
And today, it's not only 5, it's 6.
Oh, we're getting a bonus edition. Woo! So, Krista, go.
Alright, so this is 5 Word Facts. Welcome back. It's been 2 weeks. I can't believe that. I've been at school for a little while, so I decided to do a +1 edition. This time for our facts, this is by Thought Co. The person who made this is Debbie Hadley. Okay. The fact number 1. Moths outnumber butterflies by a 9-to-1 ratio. Butterflies and moths belong to the same order.
Lepidoptera.
Lepidoptera? Dang. Okay. Over 90% of known leps, as entomologists often call them,
Entomologists. Yep.
are moths, not butterflies. Scientists already discovered and described over 13.
This? 135,000.
135,000 different species of moth. Experts estimate there are at least 100,000.
100,000.
100,000 more moths still undiscovered.
Wow.
And some think moths are actually numbered in 500,000 species. So why do butterflies get all the attention? Probably because they're less known, and you don't see them a ton unless you're in Missouri, Missouri or California.
Okay.
Number 2.
Fact number 2.
Most moths are nocturnal, but many fly during the day. We tend to think of moths as creatures in the night, but this isn't always the case. Some moths are quite active during daylight hours. They're often mistaken for butterflies, bees, and even hummingbirds. They're clear-winged moths, some of which mimic wasps, bees, visit flowers for nectar during the day. Other I can't read that. Diurnal moths include some tiger moths,
lichen
moths, wasp moths, and owlet moths.
Very nice.
Moths come in all sizes. Some moths are so small they're just referred to as micromoths. Generally, moth families in which the member of species measure just a centimeter or 2 are considered micromoths. But a still undescribed species collected in Africa is likely the smallest moth of all, with a wingspan of just 2 millimeters.
Oh my goodness!
That is a tiny moth.
Up to 28 centimeters.
At the other end of the moth spectrum, which is the white witch moth. I'm not going to read that. A neotropical species with a wingspan that reaches up to 28 centimeters or the size of a dinner plate.
Wow.
That is big. That is big.
That is a big moth, a white witch moth.
That's 11 inches.
I thought the lunar moths were huge.
Yeah.
Oh, you obviously haven't seen the other ones. Number 4. Male moths have a remarkable sense of smell. Keep in mind, moths don't have noses. Of course, an insect's sense of smell is essentially its ability to detect chemical cues in the environment called
Pheromones?
No. Chemoreception. Moths smell these cues with highly sensitive receptors on their antenna. And male moths... Oh. Okay, I'm done with that.
Male moths are the champions of chemoreception thanks to feathery antenna with lots of surface area to grab those molecules from the air and give them a sniff. Female moths use sex-attractant pheromones to invite potential mates to mingle. Silk moth males seem to have the strongest sense of smell of all and can follow a whiff of female pheromones for miles. Woo! Now find you a man like a male silk moth.
I would rather not date the Mothman. No thanks.
I didn't say that.
Okay, that's basically what it is. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to 5.
Number 5. Some moths are important pollinators. We often don't think of moths as pollinators. Perhaps because we aren't outside in the dark watching them work. While butterflies get all the credit, there are plenty of moths moving pollen from flower to flower.
Now, see, I don't even think of butterflies as really being pollinators.
No, I think of them as either Hummingbirds or bees?
Yeah.
I think of them as eye candy.